I was feeling stuck. It felt like there was no way to stop the inevitable. There was stress, there was anxiety, there was a lot of frustration. That was January 2025. I had a lot going on, business, life, work. And I didn't know really how to improve the situation. But I knew there was a way. Whenever your back is against the wall, your true grit, your true personality really starts to shine. Do you give up? Or do you just sit in the corner and just let the doom encompass you? But I never quit. I never stopped trying. I never stopped looking for ways to get out of the corner you're backed into. So I started listening to a lot of real self-help type of guys, Tracy, Jim Rohn, just trying to figure out how were they doing the things that they were doing. How did they achieve what they achieved in life? What was the mantras they were living by? What were the systems that they were using? There's a lot of ways that you can be successful in life. Working in the construction space, doing real estate investing. There's so many different ways that you can win in those industries. House flipping, buy and holds, apartments, short-term rentals. All you gotta do is follow the system. For over 20 years, I've worked in construction. I like to talk about this. I use this a lot when I'm coaching people, and I call it the APE Principle: assess, plan, execute. Every day on site, every week, every month, every year for our construction projects. We're always assessing, we're planning, then we're executing. I was missing those steps in my life. I was just trying to execute with no plan. I was a habitual planner for so long without proper assessment. I would assess things all day long and never put the plan in place to then execute it. So I got to work. I tried to figure out what tools are out there. How can I achieve greatness, achieve success, get out of this funk, reduce the stress, reduce the chaos, start putting those systems in place. I'm a big fan of Gary Vaynerchuk, big fan of Dan Martell, Buy Back Your Time. Totally changed the way I do things when I read that back in, I believe it was the summer of 2024. I really flipped things around, so I was able to achieve more, but I wasn't necessarily doing it as successful as I could have. Then all of a sudden they started talking about AI, automation, figuring out, utilizing tools to buy back your time, to reduce that frustration, to help with some of those mundane tasks, just to get you on track. So I started doing it. I started using ChatGPT mostly, got the paid version of that so I could really deep dive into it. And I started getting ChatGPT to interview me. I do a lot of driving for work, so I started getting it to interview me, ask me questions, work on workflow, utilizing things like CoPilot as well, because I use Microsoft Project a lot for work, so I'm constantly asking it and going back and forth. And from there, my system started to improve, and I started to figure out more efficient ways to do things, started realizing some of the ways I was doing things. It's a simple ask. Hey, ChatGPT, is this the best way to do something? No, this is better. Hey, CoPilot, this is my current workflow. Is there a faster way to do this? Yes, there's automation tools and all that built into the software we're already paying for that can help with that. So then I got to work. I started constantly reaching out to mostly ChatGPT when I talk about using AI. That's what I've been using mostly throughout the year. And basically using it as an accountability partner to grade my performance, to make sure that I'm on the right track with what I was doing. And all of a sudden I was starting to be able to do more faster, just some of the things, smarter routing of some of the drives I would do, trying to figure out the best and fastest way to do things. And then voice to text, that became a big thing for me as I'm zipping through, site walkthroughs. I'm voice to texting constantly on my iPhone. I just put a Bluetooth headset in, just record as I'm walking around, then realizing that I can then take that information, throw it into ChatGPT, and ask it to give me a quick overall breakdown of percentages complete based off of all the suites I walk through. And then from there, it just starts compounding more and more and more, and you start getting faster and faster and faster. And every couple months, I was making sure that I was checking in, with ChatGPT, with CoPilot, to say, is the way I'm doing things right now the fastest and most efficient way of doing things? And sure enough, every 2-3 months, it would say, nope, there's a new tool out, there's a new way of doing this. Reframe your prompt so that you're asking this way. And then, things just started going faster and faster and faster. And then personally, you're reducing that stress at work. You're feeling more accomplished. You're getting more done. And all of a sudden, personally, that stress gets lifted off your back. You're able to get home on time. That's a big thing. And then I started using it for fitness as well. So telling it to plan out workouts for me. I've got 30 minutes, on, let's say Wednesday. What is my workout? What's the best workout to do? Hey, what about my food, my diet? Just really dialing in. And, just creating those plans, creating goals, and then check-ins as well, taking pictures of myself. You can throw it up into ChatGPT. And there was a time, it was probably about June last year, and my oldest son said, Dad, what happened to you? You used to be jacked. I used to be ripped. And he was right. I was getting complacent, not following those plans, right? Not assessing, planning, and then putting those, the execution in place to make sure that I was getting fitter. I was getting in better shape. So I did that for about 8 weeks leading up to my 40th birthday, which was 695 days in total that I was working out every day. See, I got complacent. I was working out every day, but I wasn't making sure that I was reaching those goals. Meanwhile, in 2024 and into 2023, when I had started that workout challenge, I had set goals. I ran a half marathon, ran a full marathon. I was doing some sprint triathlon. I did a full triathlon, and then all of a sudden you get into 2025, and it's just gotten that funk, and all of a sudden didn't have those goals that I was achieving every day, didn't have those micro wins, and I was feeling it, and so started putting those plans in place, started improving things, relationship-wise with my wife and kids. Started to get better, started to plan out properly what we were going to do. Started getting to using Google Gemini as well. So asking that to map out routes and check the maps, and Google reviews for places we could go, restaurants to go to, suggestions, roadside thrift stores and stuff like that to check out. And life just started improving. And today, now, just this week, again, asking, is this the best way to do things? And going to training classes and mastermind events and different seminars and conferences that are happening. Now I'm starting to utilize a lot of NotebookLM and realizing the true power of it to be able to throw reports and project schedules into it. And it's now creating mini podcasts with updates on where the project should be, so that when I get to site, I've listened to a full audio breakdown of what I need to look for. And sure, some of this might sound technical and crazy, but I'm just trying to get the point across that there are so many tools out there now that can help you achieve your goals, help you achieve greatness, help you reduce the stress, reduce the chaos, and help you start planning those systems, because the systems are what will help you live like a pro, as I like to talk about, that pro lifestyle, no stress, just results. And it's not just work, it's life, love, family. It's everything. So if you want to live like a pro, make sure you're following along. Reach out if you got any questions. If you wanted me to do any deep dives of anything, we do have a free Facebook group, Be a Pro Network. I've also got some different school communities I'm kind of helping out in as well. If you guys want to join into that stuff, reach out to me, shoot me an email, follow me on all social medias, and always build better so you can live happy. And that's how you live like a pro.